back to my channel. My name is Teno Merkaba, and as promised in my previous video, I will talk about Venus in Aries through the houses, because many people have a Venus in Aries, but it's going to play out differently depending on the house that it's in. Ciao. Aha. Before I begin, I'd like to thank all my new subscribers. Thank you guys so fucking much. Please don't forget to give me a like and a comment, and please subscribe if you haven't already. And make sure to check out my other channel, Avocado Man, where I do other things that are not astrology, boy. Let's just get straight into it, guys. Venus in Aries in the first house. So this is now a double emphasis on the Aries energy, right? This makes somebody 10 times more selfish and more self-concerned, more self-serving in relationships. It is literally, this is definitely a placement that like really fucking struggles with love. Like you really struggle with love here, and it just like from an outsider it like really sucks, because it's like, damn, you just really like, you just generally don't know how to be a relatable person. Like you don't know. You struggle giving people compliments, unless it's like you see that. You see, if you compliment somebody, it's because you see that in yourself. It's always going to be directed back to yourself, because the first house is the house of the self. You know, it's the house of me. Everything about me, myself, how I do this, how I do that. You know what I'm saying? How I love. You know, it's not about like, okay, let me compromise with the way you love, and then let's find a way to, you know, come together to see how it will work. No, you really struggle with shit like that. Like, I really feel for you. And then you don't even want sympathy. That's you know, it's like you don't know how to be relatable, but you also don't want sympathy. So it's like the way you deal with it. You know, I feel even more sorry for you if you have this conjuncting your moon sign. If you have an Aries moon conjuncting your motherfucking Venus and Aries. Oh fuck, oh Jesus. And if you have it in Mars too, you might as well just marry yourself. Just don't date anybody, just marry yourself. Because you're definitely going to be a difficult person for other people. Because it's like, no one can please you in a way that you are like satisfied. Because it's always like, it's like you always, not only are you constantly initiating new ways of how to see a relationship, right? But it's in the house of the self, right? So you're constantly initiating and creating ways of how to like love yourself, right? So there's no room for other people. So other people obviously don't know how you really see yourself, because that's like an internal thing also. You may be able to express it out, but it's also like, because other people may not be able to connect to that, because it's also about the self, you know? Other people don't know how to fucking please you. Ciao. And you may be able to, like, you are able to express that out with your words, like, no, I want this. But it may be somewhat unrealistic also, you know? And it may be, you may want someone to give up, or like, they may be at work or something, and you want to call them, you know, because you are bored. But you won't consider the fact that maybe they're in a meeting. You won't consider the fact that maybe, you know, they're busy doing something, you know? It's all about like, well, I'm bored, I want attention now. And if they don't give it to you, then you either throw a fucking tantrum or you go get it somewhere else, you know? But the good part about this is that you're definitely somebody who, you love yourself. You don't need any validation from anybody else, because you know how to make yourself feel good, you know? You're very connected with your own personality, and you definitely love and appreciate your own personality. It just may not be relatable, but I feel like for the most part, you don't care, because as long as you are good, as long as you're happy, as long as you're satisfied, as long as your needs have been met, and you know how to, like, I feel like if you're grown and you know how to like kind of meet your own needs in terms of having the financial means, this is so loud, having like the financial means to support yourself and buy yourself Gucci things and whatever, then that's Ayoba. You know what I'm saying? That's cool. I feel like, you know, Tony Childs from Girlfriends, she probably had a Venus in Aries, you know? She had like very high standards. She's very selfish. She didn't care about other people. You know what I'm saying? Like, she kind of wanted to be the center of attention. But she was really funny, though. She was a really, like, I feel like she basically made girlfriends. Because after she left, shit got boring, you know? And that's one thing about you guys. As selfish as you are, people usually miss you when you're gone, you know? They may be like, oh, thank God. But they miss, like, that spice. They miss the drama. They miss the, you know, the highs and the lows and the, oh my God, you're so selfish. And then you being like, what? Or whatever, you know, I probably am selfish, but you guys don't know how to, you know, that type of thing. Like, you're very like, you know how to defend yourself and stand up for yourself, definitely, you know. If you have friends, you probably know how to, like, fight for them too. You definitely, like, will be a loyal human being with this, you know. You know how to fight for your friends, and you know how to fucking defend people. You know how to fight for the people that you love, definitely, you know. But in terms of, like, just being a relatable person, I feel like you definitely just rather be friends with people who share the same personal issues as you. Let me just say that. You probably do have a very tight group of friends, because you may know how difficult you can be. So it's a lot better for you to just be with a group of people that just allow you to be that way, aka Aries and Pisces, Sagittarius also. That also, like, they don't really care about what you do, because they know that they have that detachment or that, like, fluid freedomness where they can also be their own individuality without requiring too much from you. And that's something you would definitely love and appreciate. People like that. You'd probably fuck with people like that, you know. So just get around an Aquarius, a Sag, or a Pisces. You know, you just may take too much from a Pisces. You know, just, you may be, because you know a Pisces is gonna give you everything, because they don't really connect with material things like that or whatever. So just be careful not to be overly greedy with shit like that, you know. But yeah, you be aight. You be aight. And then if you have your Venus in Aries in the second house, then you are definitely somebody. Okay, so second house is home in Venus, you know. It's home there. But with Aries, it kind of, it's because it's away in Aries, but it's home in the second house. So I feel like second house is your possessions and things that you value. So I feel like with this, it's the same thing as having the Venus in Aries, where you value yourself, really. You're just valuing your own, like, because second house is possessions, right? So you may see yourself as a possession that you value, which is aka valuing yourself, valuing the way that you see things. And you don't know how to value how other people see things, you know. You value people who see things the same way you see things. People who have similar visions and similar ways of, like, kind of expressing themselves that resonates with how you express yourself. You fuck with those kinds of people. But as soon as it's like other people kind of oppose how you see things, then that's when you kind of, like, you know, it can get kind of it can get like kind of difficult for you to, like, you know, rock with these people, because it's like because to you it's gonna be like, yo, if I start relating, now I have to continue lying and continue pretending like I actually like, or, you know, I'm interested in, like, knowing what somebody else is into, and in reality I don't. So in that way you're very honest, but it's just difficult to be your friend, because, like, that's how you have relationships with people, you know. It's relating your shit to other people, you know. You may be really funny because you may be really childlike with how uncaring and how unbothered you are with other people's things that don't match your own. But, like, for the most part, it's also just, like, distasteful, because it's like, dude, you are really fucking selfish. But for the most part, you like, value that about yourself, you know. You value the fact that, and you, like I said, you value other people that see things the way that you see things, you know. Because it's like, to you, then you don't have to feel like obligated to lie or pretend, because that's what you see compromising as pretending, and you don't like to pretend, because you're all about yourself. And I feel like you don't pretend with yourself, you keep it real. So that's one thing about this placement, is that you know how to keep it real, and you love and appreciate other people who keep it real too, just as long as it resonates with your vibes, you know. As long as it resonates with you, then you're good. But as soon as people start, like, you know, doing other things that aren't with what you deem as, like, valuable to you, then you're not with the shits like that, you know. Yeah, you prefer to just, like, be on your own, because that way, then, like, you know, you kind of don't have to cater to anybody else's energy. And that's something that you definitely struggle with, is catering to other people's energy, you know. Yeah. Yeah, could be that. So yeah, if you have your Venus in Aries in the third house, so third house we know is the house of Gemini, it's the house of communication, your neighborhood. It's the house of like, you know, school, like the schooling systems, just systems in general, like but like in your neighborhood, you know, like Spa or Walmart, as I said, for all the people who live in the USA. I don't know what they have in the UK. I don't know what kind of like where you buy food, those supermarkets. Let me just say a supermarket, like, you know, supermarkets that are in your neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Like the school, like theater, just anything that is in your proximity that you're familiar with, like, you know, the road to go to school, you know, the road to go to the theater, you know, the road to, that's basically that's the third house basically. So, and also your friends, considering your friends, your siblings, your home, where you live, the people, your friends, you know what I'm saying? Just shit like that. So having Aries in the third house, you're in Aquarius rising, so you like me. So I feel like with this particular placement, not only because it's also going to real communication, so you may be really direct, like you may talk about things that you like to talk about, you know, and you may be the really loud one in your group of friends, because you have an Aquarius rising with this, so this is like a sextile. So I feel like you're a super individual with this. Probably don't have any friends, or you're like a loner, you know what I'm saying? But people fuck with you because you're an Aquarius rising, and you probably have something about you that's like, whoa, you know, what's that about? And you may like that attention also, you know. But for the most part, I feel like you may be really abrasive with like what you say. You're just very honest and direct with what you say, because this is like kind of similar to having like Mercury in Aries, you know, but this is in Venus, so I feel like you love and appreciate maybe your own way of communicating, which is very direct. You love and appreciate people who get to the fucking point, you know, without having to beat around the bush like Libras do, like fucking Geminis can do sometimes, you know, or who else beats around the bush? Pisces also. Pisces can totally beat around the bush. Yeah, you just like people, like what you love and appreciate is people who just get to the fucking point. People who can quickly, I feel like with this, sorry, I'm not jerking off. I'm trying to get my lip gloss to fucking come out because it's finishing, bro. I'm doing that thing when you, like, you know, you when your fucking toothpaste is finished, and you have to just like roll it all out. I'm doing that. But yeah, you love and appreciate people who just get to the fucking point, like, and don't have to apologize for it, you know, because you don't apologize for whatever you say, because that's real to you, like, that came from your depths, the depths of your soul, you know what I'm saying, you know. But it just, like I said, it may be distasteful also, because, you know, because you see everything for really, like, what it is. Other people may not really be ready for that, unless you're with a Sagittarius or an Aquarius or a Capricorn or a Scorpio or a Virgo, or yeah, those signs. Other people just, you know, you just may, like I said, you may just come across as very distasteful and like very abrasive, and you may not give a fuck about that, because as long as you are speaking your truth, you are loving and appreciating every moment of that, you know. Yeah. Yeah. But also I feel like you may, what's this? It could either be this, or you may be the type of person that, like, you probably attract a lot of people that kind of are bullies to you. So you also may be low-key a bully to your friends, you know? Or you may not have friends because you've been the bully to them. Or you may have friends that you guys just talk shit to each other, and that's just your relationships. You just talk shit about each other. You're just like mad, like screaming, mad, shouting, whatever, and that's just your relationship. You know, just being able to freely exude your passion, talk your shit, and not have to feel sorry or feel bad about whatever. That's your cup of tea, dude. See, especially in your surroundings, like with your homies. You know, I feel like that's definitely that. You know. And if you are into music and shit like that, I feel like you'd be the raw kind of like rapper, you know, just talk shit, swear a lot, angry kind of voice, you know, probably like to scream a lot. You'd probably be into like metal, what's this, rock metal, what's this fucking wrong? Jesus Christ. Punk metal, punk metal music, you know, just like where they squeal. It's like, I can't do it right now. Actually, not. I can't even do it generally. But that's. I feel like you definitely like that because it's very raw and like just very like. You know, it's like yeah, you can resonate with that type of shit. You know. But yeah, for the most part, you're just very direct with your words with this placement. And that's what you love and appreciate. And you can resonate with people who do the same thing, you know? Yeah. And then if you have your Venus in Aries in the 4th house, so you know 4th house is how you were raised, you know, like kind of the style that you were raised in. You may have been raised, I think you were Capricorn rising with this, right? It could also be an Aquarius rising. But I feel like you were probably raised to kind of be self-sufficient, you know? So yes, you are very private. This also makes you somebody who's very private about the things that you've gone through. So it's made you a super individual in terms of handling your own emotions. So you love and appreciating handling your own emotions as a personal individual, you know. And you just basically handle your emotions and handle not home affairs, but like home situations and like things dealing with where you live. You know, you may have lived like in a really hectic situation. Either your mom was really hectic, your dad is hectic, or just like the area you're living in. Also, that goes with the 3rd house too. You may have like lived in a very kind of aggressive neighborhood or something like that. But in the 4th house, it's definitely like a situation where your foundation and how you grew up as a child, and even now as a human adult, growing up in your 20s, 30s, whatever, you just may have grown up like having to handle your issues as an individual. You know what I'm saying? Like you had to kind of be on your own in terms of like how you handle your shit. So you probably would vouch to live alone just because of the circumstances that you grew up in. You know, you'd rather live alone. You'd rather just be by yourself because at home you had to go through so much shit that had to teach you that, bro, at the end of the day, it's only you. And if you don't know how to handle your shit, nobody else is gonna handle your shit for you. You know? So you love and appreciate the home, or like the home that because you could eventually just kind of be your own home, and love and appreciate the fact that you carry your own home within you. You know, but you can also I feel like you also love and appreciate that about other people too, like to the point where it's like a situation where you. No matter where you go, you're able to make yourself feel comfortable. No matter what, like you're just able to make yourself feel comfortable. So, and I feel like you're also able to hustle in certain situations or kind of fiend for yourself, but without like, fuck, my brace is weird. Like without having to beg people, you know what I'm saying? But for the most part, yeah, you definitely know how to like hide your emotions, you know, and you definitely feel comfortable living alone. I feel like that's that placement. You love and appreciate just being by yourself and creating a home for yourself. You may not even want to live with anybody else. It could be that deep. You just love and appreciating having your own space. Oh, and it's like around people who resonate the same as you, you know. But for the most part, yeah, it's probably just living by yourself, right? And then if you have your Venus and Aries in the 5th house, this is definitely someone who's very expressive. 5th house is how you express yourself. It's how you have fun. You just may not consider the fact that other people don't enjoy doing the same shit that you do. So you may get into like relationships and you like, dude, yo, let's go skydiving. Oh my god. And that person may be like, no, I don't want to. And you'd be like, what the fuck, dude? Why am I your friend? You know? Come on. And you just like really may push them to do some shit like that. And if they don't, then you just like throw them away, or you like hate them, or initiate a whole new way of seeing them, you know? But not realizing that like, and that person could be your homie, you know what I'm saying? But you don't want to realize that other people aren't entertained by the things you're entertained by, you know? So just rather like hang out with people that are down for whatever, you know what I'm saying? Because this is basically the exaltation of Aries. It's like having an Aries sun sign, you know? You have like so much fucking energy, like you have so much energy, and you love and appreciate all forms of like expressing yourself. Like like having your Venus and Aries in the 5th house, you just love and appreciate expressing yourself, and you may like be so expressive to the point where it's like kind of explosive, you know, whether it's like a good emotion or a bad emotion. You just have like explosive expressions basically, you know. So you may have friends that are like, dude, we're going to my grandmother's house. We need you to just bring it down. You know, you won't like this shit because you know you want to act however the fuck you want to act. You want to be a child however the fuck you want to be a child. If you want to scream, if you want to take your shirt off, that's what you want to do. And you don't want people to tell you when or how to act in any situation, you know. You feel like you have the freedom to do whatever the fuck you want to. Obviously, it's going to be different with other, like if you have other placements, like if you have Virgo, or if you have Capricorn, if you have Taurus, or if you have Libra also, or if you have Scorpio, or Cancer, not Cancer, or Pisces, nah. Yeah, if you have those signs, obviously it's just gonna like modify it differently also. But for the most part, it's just gonna make you a super, super expressive person. And you love and appreciate expressing yourself no matter what. You know, and you love and appreciate other people who express themselves. Even if it's stupid, you know, you don't think so much about like, oh my god, this expression is gonna make me look dumb like a earth sign would, like, oh, they have to practicalize what they're gonna do first. You just act off of instinct, like you express yourself off of instinct. So this is what makes you really funny. Like you can be really fun to be around, but you could also be like really tiring. But the fact is that you have all the energy in the world and you don't realize that other people need time to recharge, but you literally could go all day all night and still have more energy to go all day all night. You know what I'm saying? It's like you on cocaine 24/7, fucking crack 24/7. You know what I'm saying? And this is what you love and appreciate, just being able to express your visions, express yourself, and initiate different ways of expressing yourself. You know, just having fun, because you're definitely a child forever with this placement, I feel. Even having an Aries sun sign generally, but just having it in the 5th house, bro, you definitely like somebody that's like, you mad expressive. You could definitely be like an actor. I feel like this would be the what's this, the placement for someone who's like an adrenaline junkie, you know, doing like skydiving, bungee jumping, fucking, I don't know, what's this, motor, you know, when people like drive motorcycles and then they like do stunts and shit like that, like a daredevil. I feel like this is definitely the placement for that, you know. You just don't give a fuck, like you love almost dying. You love it. Jeez. Yeah, but that's that. And then if you have your Venus in Aries in the 6th house, so first of all, Venus hates being in the 6th house, and it also does not like Aries. So this is just somebody, once again, like having it in the 1st house, you just really suck at love, really. Because here, so 6th house is like your routines, your health, how you schedule on a daily basis, you know, shit like that. Aries also doesn't really like to schedule, you know what I'm saying? But it kind of, because it's in this area of life, it kind of does that anyway. So having it in Venus, it's like Venus has to kind of nitpick love and whatever. So with this, it's like not only are you being selfish with your love, but you're also going to be constantly expressing what you feel like your partner isn't doing right. You know, you're going to be nitpicking like, you didn't fucking, why didn't you fold the clothes, or why didn't you wash the dishes like this, like I told you? What the fuck is wrong with you, dude? You know what I'm saying? Like I told you I want the house to look like this, and now it looks like this. You see why? You just don't listen. The problem is that you don't listen. I told you that I want my wardrobe to be pink and have tints of polka dot purple polka dots, but now it has fucking tints of red polka dots. What the fuck is wrong with you? You know? Just very difficult to deal with. I feel like on the lower side it could be like this, but once you realize like, okay, you kind of suck at love, I feel like it could be modified to a situation where it's like you do that for yourself. I feel like you just know how to like construct your own routines or your own way of living on a daily basis. Like you initiate new ways of how to. This could also kind of be like a changeable, where you kind of change your routine. You switch your routines up all the time, you know, just based on how you were feeling on that specific day. But I definitely feel like because you love and appreciate your work, you just want to be your own boss. So you love and appreciate your own way of doing things in terms of like things that you do on a daily basis. And you don't want anybody to tell you that, like, you don't want anybody else's criticism or anybody else's 2 cents on, dude, like, I feel like you should have, on Tuesday, or I don't know, you probably should eat this because eating that is not good for your liver. You know, you don't want to be told that. You know, even though that advice could be really good for you, because you could be like drinking a whole bunch on a daily basis just because you want to, you know, because it makes you self-sufficient. You could be like, that information could really could have been like on some good intention shit, you know what I'm saying? But for the fact that you don't want to be told what to do in terms of your health or what you do on a daily basis, you know, you don't fuck with that. I also feel like with this, you probably suck at like, you know, having a boss. You probably wouldn't like having a boss or someone that you work under. But at the same time, I also feel like you would suck as, like, you being a boss, it wouldn't be like Capricorn kind of boss where it's like, okay, you have some kind of concrete blueprint on how to tell people what to do, because it's actually gonna give out good results. Having Aries can make you just really impulsive. Yes, power obsessed or power hungry, but you just made, because you're always gonna initiate different ways of how to see something. It doesn't give like enough stability for something to be seen all the way through. You know, obviously if you have Capricorn in your chart, then Ayoba, that's dope, or actually Virgo or like Taurus, then that's cool. But because you initiate so many ways of how to like do your routines or your health things, it just may be too shaky for you to even like be a boss, because you just may have so many ideas or so many new ways of doing something. Then again, it could be like a dope thing depending on whatever you're doing. You know, you could be in like a artistic kind of thing, or in a job that like, or a career that allows you to do shit like that. You know, so that's a lot better in terms of that. So I guess just find what works for you in that sense. But yeah, I feel like in love matters though, hopefully you have Taurus. Hopefully you have like a Taurus moon, or you are a Taurus sun sign or Taurus moon. Hopefully, child. But if not, then you know you can always just date yourself. Yeah. And if you have your what's this, Aries Venus in the 7th house. So okay, 7th house is home in Venus, but having it in Aries, it's like a complete 180-degree opposition from what it wants to be. So you probably have a Libra rising with this. So I feel like, okay, with this, you probably are a lot better at relating to people. But you just, like I said, you may be somebody that likes to relate to people who share the same personal goals, or who share the same visions, who share the same the same vision as you do. Like, you'd want to relate to those kinds of people. You'd want to relate like, oh my god, dude, I see something like this, and then they'd be like, oh my god, I see it like that, but I came to that conclusion this way, and you'd be like, oh my god, I came to that conclusion this way. So I feel like, yeah, in that sense, you'd probably be a lot more, you'd want to like relate to people, like I said, who share the same vibes as you do. So that's why I say, with this placement, definitely be around an Aquarius or Sagittarius, you know, or Gemini, because they'll have like, they'll know how to kind of jump into your perspective of seeing things and come up with a whole bunch of other ideas on how you see something in terms of, you know, your own cardinality and initiating new ways of how to see something. But yeah, I think for the most part, yeah, with this, it is like, I think in your relationships, you also may want to dominate the conversations, but in a more aggressive way, where you just want to kind of relate what you, kind of like the Leo reading, like you want to relate things that you want to relate to people. You know what I'm saying? Like you want to talk about what you want to talk about, and as soon as somebody else talks about shit that doesn't resonate with what was in your brain, then you're not really that keen to, like, it's gonna help a lot, but you're not really that keen to, like, you may just sit there and like watch somebody speak and then just jump into, like, initiate a whole other conversation, you know what I'm saying, and kind of leave somebody feeling like, okay, well, did you hear what I said, you know? And you probably didn't, because you probably clocked out, you know? It's like the same as if somebody sent you a voice note. You probably like listen to the first 30 seconds of it and you're like, okay, this has nothing to do with what I care about, so I'm just gonna relate to you. I'm gonna talk to somebody else who I can relate to, who relates to me, that situation. you know, those vibes. Yeah, and then if you have your Venus in Aries in the what's this 8th house, also another house that Venus does not like to be in. But I feel like with this particular placement, child, you probably suck at love. Like I really just feel like you suck at love so badly. Because 8th house is your secrets, your own desires, your own passions, your own transformation, your own emotional depth, you know. And then Aries is like myself, me, myself, I, self, I, me, you know what I'm saying? So I don't see you being good at love with this, you know. You probably very manipulative with this, but you express that manipulation with your Aries fire, because fire is always gonna like spark something. But yeah, you just want to, like, you'd probably be the type of person like, oh, you don't want to do this for me? Okay, fine. Well, and you probably look good anyway, you know, so you know how to like draw people in also. So I feel like with this, you love and appreciate like your own desires, sex, transformation, all of that shit, you know. But it's always related to yourself too, and your own personality. So personally, you are a very sexual person, and that's also very sexual person with secrets, tons of skeletons under your closet. And obviously that's difficult to relate, you know, because other people may not really want to like relate that to you, because some things are meant to just be under the closet or in the closet or whatever, you know, shit like that, you know. So I feel like for you it just may be a situation where with this you probably may have had like representations in your life that have shown you that when you were vulnerable with some people, that it kind of backfired, and then you started being like, you know what, the only way I can get through things is if I manipulate people and use my sexuality to get through, and you know, get through or get whatever I want for myself. So this makes you super double selfish and self-loving, and only loving to your own needs and your own desires and your own ABCDEFG. Yeah, you know, some people, but it's okay. Some people are just meant to die alone, and that's not a bad thing. Just, you know, as long as you love yourself, you good, bro. Fucking good, bro. That's Ayoba. You know, like I said, it's obviously going to be modified differently, but in terms of love matters, child, you just. It just doesn't. It's just. It's just not gonna work. It doesn't work. Ayoba for you. I feel for you though. Don't worry. I think maybe in this lifetime you just weren't meant to be that. Meant to be in those situations, you know. Yeah. And then if you have Venus in Aries in the 9th house, so this is like a double emphasis on the fire energy, right? Because 9th house rules Sagittarius. It's the house of culture, you know, experiences, wisdom. Opposite from the 3rd house, which is the house of schools and shit. 9th house is more so learning from like, you know, like different ethnicities, cultures, streets, like learning from the streets, you know? Learning from just like experiencing things. So having your Venus in Aries in the 9th house, this makes you somebody who like I feel like this makes you somebody who you're a lot more passionate, like you're like a lot more passionate about the experiences that you have gone through, and you love and appreciate all those experiences, right? That you took personally. So it's like you gain personal wisdom. So I feel like this also kind of helps a bit better, you know? Kind of, a little bit, it helps, you know? Just like all the experiences that you have gone through, you love and appreciate, because it's like now you've learned how to personally carry yourself in other situations, you know? Like you know how to carry yourself in situations where you know how to initiate a vibe to somehow control the outcomes of a situation that you know you've been there before. So now because you've been there before, you know how to personally carry yourself in such a way where it's like it's like you gain it's like you gain spiritual discernment even more, but in terms of like how you carry yourself personally, you know. So your personality grows based on your experiences, and this is what you love and appreciate. That's why you love and appreciate all experiences, because it essentially grows your own personality, and it grows the way that you personally love yourself, because now you have personal wisdom on how to carry yourself in other situations that are similar to those situations. And take this in like anything really, like meeting up with people, associations, you know, going to your grandmother's house, all of that shit. You just learn how to carry yourself personally as an individual in a way that suits you. You know what I'm saying? It's like you have finesse and swag. And also you're a very wise person with this placement. I think you're a Leo rising with this. Yeah, you definitely are Leo rising with this placement, you know. So it's like also a lot of fire energy. So you're definitely very passionate person, extremely passionate. So also you may be passionate about like the wisdom that you had. But the thing is, you just may not want to relate. Somebody else may have their own wisdoms and their own experiences. And, you know, they may be telling you that, no, I feel like the world is like this. But if it doesn't match with how you view the world, you know, in terms of like all the wisdom that you have accumulated, then you're going to shun them down, or kind of like discard that person, you know. Because you, once again, if it doesn't match your vibes, if it doesn't match how you see things, then it's just, you know, you're just going to be kind of like, reluctant to even continue a conversation with that person, you know? That's the vibe. And then if you have your Venus and Aries in the 10th house, the 10th house, you know, is your reputation, who you're known for, what you're known to do, who you're known to be, you know, shit like that, like, your so in your 6th house you were working every day, but it's like, what are you working towards? So that's your 10th house. So having an Aries 10th house, you probably a Cancer rising. So you probably somebody who you love and appreciate your status, but you don't want, it's like you, like the way you got to your status, you don't want anyone to feel like they helped you. You don't want any help. You don't want anyone to feel like, you know, they gave you the upper hand to get where you are, so now you owe them something. You don't want to feel like you owe anyone anything, because that makes you feel like, gag, ew, what the fuck, disgusting, you know? Like you want to personally be responsible for your career, and you want all the credit, because you don't want anyone to feel like, oh yeah, I gave you that idea, so now you owe me something. You don't want, like I said, you don't want to owe anybody anything, you know? Yeah, you're just like very reluctant to like, you're just reluctant to just like share, what do I say, how do I say, like you don't want, it's like you want the whole cake because you want to work for it, and you are probably very much down to work for every single bit and piece of building your own reputation, you know? But for the most part, you just don't want anyone to feel like they have something over you. And you don't want to feel like, oh, just because, you don't want anyone to feel like, oh, yeah, they helped you, so now, like, you have to give them something. Oh, now, you know, you just don't want to have that on you, you know? So the way you have built your reputation was like an individual. So this, I feel like this also kind of puts you in a, you're very passionate about your work, you know? And you love and appreciate your work. You love and appreciate building yourself. Loving and appreciating, like, presenting yourself in a way that you knew, like, you take credit for everything. You were like the manager, you were the producer, you were the director, you were the audience, you were the mic guy, you were the boom guy, you were everything. You don't want anyone to feel like they had any part in playing that shit, you know? You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. And that would make you feel really uncomfortable if somebody had to feel like they did shit like that for you. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. This kind of, like as I was saying, it kind of puts you in like a Mars and Mars and Capricorn. You know, it's like you're super passionate, like you're like a workaholic type of thing. It could be that you could be like a super workaholic. Oh, my voice. You could be like a workaholic, and this is what you love and appreciate, you know, because it's like you take the time to build yourself, and you don't want, like I said, you don't want to give anybody else the credit of saying that they helped you. No. You want to do that all by yourself. Yeah. And then if you have your Venus in Aries in the fucking, what's this? In the 11th house, right? So 11th house is your associations, it's social media, things that you're associated with, and just networking on a broad level, you know, aka social media. So having your Venus in Aries in the 11th house kind of makes you, like, the way that you present yourself in associations, like, is very like you're an individual, you know. This kind of adds, like, because Aries and Aquarius also share a lot in common in terms of being an individual, you know. But, like, Aquarius is just kind of unique and weird about this, you know. That's what makes them an individual, because they, like, because of that Uranus uniqueness, you know. Aries is just, they're the individual because they are the first house, and they don't really relate to people, so they carry themselves as an individual because they know that they're not relatable. So adding these two energies together, having your Venus and Aries in the 11th house, you love and appreciate your associations, and like I say, how you carry yourself with associations is like an individual. So people usually, like, fuck with you in a way that's like, oh wow, why you carry, like, this kind of swag about you, like, you have a swag about you, you know what I'm saying? You have, like, this thing about you, you like, wow. And it's usually always the associations, and you probably fuck with your associations a lot more than you fuck with, like, you know, people that you are familiar with in your 3rd house, you know what I'm saying, or 4th house. But yeah, in your fucking, your social media, you probably, like, probably have a very individualistic way of posting your pictures, you know. And having it in the 11th house also makes it unique and shit, you know. So you're probably just a very unique person, and you love and appreciate other unique people who are individuals. You don't like, you definitely the type of person that's like, oh, I don't like people who are fake, I don't like people who follow trends, you know, because you probably set your own trend. Like, you know, you probably come up, like, you would probably be the type of person, like, that would, you'd want to make your own clothes and wear your own clothes, and, like, make your own clothes, wear your own clothes. You probably wouldn't fuck with brands like that, you know. You want to be your own brand. Like, you wouldn't wear Gucci and shit like that. You probably want to, like, you know, create your own thing, call it your own name, and be like, yeah, I rock with my shit, you know. I won't have to praise somebody else because I'm the shit, and I have the same vision. I have the same fucking, you know, I have the same shit in me that, like, Gucci, Louis Prada, Gucci, Louis Prada. If you know that, if you fucking know J Nadeed, bro, fucking drop a comment for me, bro. Oh, I'm gonna go binge on these videos now. But you feel like, yeah, I have the same shit as all those guys, you know. So what they have, what do they have that I don't have, you know what I'm saying? So let me rather, like, rock my own shit. And that's how you carry yourself in your associations and on social media, you know what I'm saying? Like, you probably, the way that you post pictures, and like I say, it's always like on some unique individual shit. Yeah, I'm sure even the way you dress is always like on some unique individual shit, and you like other people who are on that same vibe as you do. You know what I'm saying? You're on that same, you like other people who are on the same vibe as you, and who also don't give a fuck about, like, the mainstreams, you know. But for the most part, like, how you network with people, you may be very, like, kind of aggressive in terms of, like, your associations and people that you're associated with, and just generally, like, how do I say that? You just may be very, like, aggressive when it comes to meeting people that you're unfamiliar with. But you also may just want to attack and just get straight to it in terms of meeting new people, you know. So you may be the first. Yes, you're gonna be funny, but you also may be really aggressive in terms of, like, being like, yo, what's up? What's your name? You know what I'm saying? You may be like, oh, okay, wow, that was a lot of energy. That was a lot of forceful, fiery Martian energy that you just threw at my way. Damn, bro, what the fuck? But it could also just be like, because the 11th house is there, it's like, wow, well, you know what? You're cool because you're different. What's up, dude? You know? But you may have sometimes been rejected by people that you associated with just because you came off, like, a bit too strong. Maybe in that situation where you just come off a bit too strong with people that you're unfamiliar with. And that could happen because other people may feel like, yo, in Zulu, like, that's Zulu, but in English it just kind of means, like, dude, don't be forward around me. Like, you don't know me like that. Don't do that. You know? That type of situation. But obviously it can play out either way. You know, it can play out either way, child. Either fucking way. Yeah. And then last but not fucking least, guys, having your Venus in Aries in the 12th house. So 12th house is your subconscious. It's like the emotional network, not emotional network, but the emotion, the broad, how do I say this? Fucking hell. Connecting to, connecting to, the overall, how do I say this? Like, connecting to the overall connections of, like, the overall spirit of humanity, the overall soul of humanity. That's 12th house, like the subconscious realm. Oh my god. So having your Venus in Aries in the 12th house, so Venus is at its exaltation place in the 12th house. So I feel like also with this placement, it kind of helps the Aries energy a bit better. I feel like with this you're a Pisces rising. With this. So you are a Pisces rising, and then you have your Venus and Aries in the 12th house. So I feel like this kind of does simmer the aggression down, definitely. Where you love people, it's like you're not as like subconsciously you may have dreams, like really violent dreams with this. Like you may just go to sleep and have like dreams of you fighting people, or shit like that. Yeah, it could be that situation, because having Aries in your 12th house, period. Having Scorpio in your 12th house and having Aries in your 12th house, you probably always dream of like fighting and war and killing and all of that shit, But having it in Venus, subconsciously I feel like you initiate new ways of how to like express your fucking your dreams and your illusions, you know what I'm saying? Like you can express your subconscious, but because Aries is already somewhat connected to the overall subconscious. They're just like, they follow the natural. I know Aries know what I'm talking about. They just follow the natural flow of things. But I feel like with this, you love and appreciate people, and you're able to express exactly what they're feeling. But it could also be distasteful because some people want to keep that shit to themselves. You may be the type of Aries that's like, dude, if we can be able to express this, then you can be able to be free from it. That's probably how you would see that. But from other people, it may be uncomfortable because they may be around a group of people. They just may not be in the mood to just get into it. But because you want, you feel like whatever you do is right. You may just be like, dude, I don't know what the big deal is. But obviously other people have their own ideas of like when they want to express things and when they don't want to express things. And you just kind of do it for them without their consent in that way, Yeah. But for the most part, I think this definitely makes you a lot more willing to love and a lot more loving, You just may be selfish sometimes in terms of like when you want to express the love to people, or like how you want to express that love to people, Yeah. But you appreciate, for the most part, I feel like you appreciate all walks of life, everybody. You just also, you may not like, because you understand people's subconscious and where they come from subconsciously and why they do things subconsciously. You just you may be the type of person that gets like illogical in terms of how you may get mad at just based on how somebody is subconsciously or what they're hiding subconsciously. And that may not be brought to the forefront because you just may be expressing a whole bunch of things and confusing people. And if you're around a Virgo, they just may get like really nervous and frustrated because they don't know what the fuck is going on. And you're just there fucking, expressing shit and like bringing things from the subconscious out into, to be seen. It just may be a bit like frightening or just like annoying also for the most part that, whoa, dude, why the fuck are you doing this, You may be the type of person that like stares at people for a long time for no reason. Like, it, just shit like that. It just can get really annoying or just like creepy. Like, dude, what the fuck are you looking at? Like, how shin suntika puti. Vibes like that. Just maybe a bit of a weirdo. But for the most part, I think you definitely love people. You're still selfish though, but you have a love and appreciation for all walks of life. Yeah. And that's my video, guys. And this fucking concludes the Venus series. This concludes the Venus series. I'm done. I don't know what I'm going to do in my next series. Probably going to do Mars or the sun signs. Because I've done Moon, Rising, and now Venus. I think I should do Mars and then the sun signs. Or the sun signs and then Mars. I don't know. I'm going to figure it out. But I'm just going to be focusing on my other channel, Avocado Man, which you should check out after you subscribe and like and comment. Get a reading from me, you know. Yeah, guys, it's been a fucking pleasure. Oh my god, I'm so grateful that I'm done with this journey. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much. I will see you in my next fucking series. I don't know what it is, but I'll announce. And yeah, if you like this video, don't forget to give it a like, thumbs up, subscribe, comment, share. Love your feedback. I hope you enjoyed this video.